We're back and ready to hit another week hard behind the scenes of running our businesses, and really glad to have you with us. Looking forward to a busy week ahead. We are pushing on our marketing front. We've got all the infrastructure there now, and now it's a push that we need to bring more customers in and spread a little bit of brand awareness. So working on some projects there, some direct mail, improving the website, improving the customer experience. We're doing all that, and we're getting some other projects off the ground. And so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good week. It's going to be positive. Let's do it.
We're losing business.
I'm going to get to Norwich and be 20 minutes late. It is miserable this morning. Why has he got a tipper truck?
There's no time like the present.
Just got off a call, which was quite exciting. I've been asked to co-host an event for young aspiring entrepreneurs and young people in professional careers at the Norwich football stadium in July. So yeah, a bit unexpected, but yeah, I've been asked to sort of do a little bit of talking, co-host the event, be up on stage, interview some panel members, that sort of stuff. So yeah, feel quite excited about that. Not exactly sure what we're going to do with it, but I've got a meeting in a couple of weeks where we're going to look over it and have a little meeting to decide what we're doing. We're going to sponsor some goodies to give away to people that are coming, so we're going to give away a few of them as well, which would be nice. Yeah, it's just things like that. I think back to when I was young, and I was just getting going. I never really found myself exposed to many events like that of people that are sort of what I consider 5 steps ahead. I always try and spend my time around people that I think are 10 steps ahead of me now. I'm always trying to spend, so for example, we're approaching, hopefully soon, the 10 million turnover mark for our business. And that means I'm out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I'm trying to very often get around and have lunches and spend time with people that are sort of at the 50 million turnover mark, that have been through this point and look back at where I was as easy. So it sort of makes you feel like, okay, got it. They've got through it. This is how, So I always think when you've got somebody that's just starting out, it took me a few years to realise that. And so, yeah, these people, I'm quite looking forward to, giving my bit and seeing if it can add some value. But yeah, a bit of public speaking, still a bit nervous about that, getting better at it, but it's like a muscle. It's the muscle, isn't it? You got to do it. Put yourself out your comfort zone. And I just find that speaking on camera, I can come across very confident. I feel like because I've put hundreds of hours now between me and Sam into making video and making content, I'm becoming quite confident, and I have no qualms with just like one take. We very rarely crop it. We very rarely edit it. We don't really need to do a lot. Because I just talk like I'm talking to, if I was in front of you guys that are watching at home, if we was talking in a room. But when I stand in front of 50, 60, 100 people, that's a slightly different thing, and I don't know why. But yeah, so watch this space. That should be good. Hopefully we'll be able to include a bit of that evening when we do that in July on the vlog. And if you're local to Norfolk and you're a young entrepreneur or a young person in the world of work and you're looking to sort of better yourself and progress and that whole personal development kind of thing, then I will put a link to the event in the comments of this video so that you can get a ticket if you want to come along.
What I'm doing right now is I'm taking these guys and I'm comparing what they've got available to what we have available. They've got a solid collection range ready to go. Ours is obviously mumbo jumbo. And like I said to you before, things like the curvy pen aren't in every collection that we would want them in.
Yeah.
So instead of going, okay, we have these, let's just make sure they're allocated correctly, I'm having to go through and pick out each pen that I want to put in every collection before I even start, because then I can actually assign it in ZigaFlow to the collection I want it to be in. So I'm trying to outlay my collection before I'm making any changes, instead of making changes right off the bat.
Wow.
And I'm worried that that's going to
That's going to be like 8 months before we actually make any change.
I'm worried that...
Is this a bit overkill though?
No. Like 10 products seems like it should be realistic. But if you want...
I mean all the mapping out on a spreadsheet. Is it not bad just to do it?
When you say,
So I mean, like just change it like used to do, where you used to just go and it's done.
just chuck a product.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking of if we had 50 people in the product team, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I just think there's no time like the present, and for me, you know in your head what the top 10 products you're going to put on there is, so why don't we just put them there? I just think every day that we're not, these collections are in the state they're in, we're losing business. I think it's just like speed of how soon it actually goes live.
Yeah. So you, from your point of view, you're like, right, it's doable, so make it happen now.
Yeah, because
And
it's
another
just
part of
every
it,
day it's like you just want the customers to be winning.
Right, let's finish the collection first.
Yeah, I think
Do
we
you
have
want
got
me
to do
to
that.
stick to that format of, okay,
I
I'm
think
working on
so.
stationery and I'm not moving off stationery until it's done?
Yeah, because it just becomes messy. I mean, like the same example with completely irrelevant, but like with the builders on the Chroma thing a minute, they're going, maybe we'll just do a bit there today. Well, maybe we'll just do a bit there today. And then you go in there and nothing seems like it's done. And they're like, well, we've been really busy. But you look around and it just looks like there's been nothing done. And I think it's similar to this. If we start jumping off going, oh, we'll work on a bit of this, bit of that. I think if we just go, right, as a whole team, say like all 6 people that are involved, we're just bottoming out pens. Because what a great feeling to on a weekly basis go, tick, rather than having all these plates spinning.
Yeah, sure.
I think the compound effect of that will pay off.
Yeah, we just need to agree on final front cover. I know you wanted to swap them there. Out of the designs, and it just seemed clean basically.
I love the unique imagery. It looks so good. Just to not be the same as anyone else's brochure. I think that's so good.
Yeah, you can tell a lot of thought's gone into it.
Yeah.
We'll be able to see that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's not just a skin brochure like everyone else that just pumps out. Like even that, that's unique imagery. That's unique. That's unique.
But you could maybe do something clever where we mix a bit of everyone's ideas of, you could have a little bit of here with some brands we've worked, you trust us, you'll be in great company, and then a few collage, quite small, but then you could have some stacked images, I think like a leaflet you guys did before of internal shots to show we're human, like with some shots. So like collage of different shots, like stuff we've got on the SharePoint, and then maybe here you could have a collage of some photos of our work. So we show a bit of the team, the brands.
I just think if they look and they go, oh, they've done bottles for ASOS.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We've got some wicked shots like there's
Although
that
they're
shot.
already in there, though, won't they? Some of them are already in there.
Yeah, but like you've got the shot of the ASOS bottle literally being engraved with the spark coming off of it and stuff. We could chuck that on there, couldn't we? I think it looks really smart, but I see that as being a really nice, almost like when we're going into getting some printed up with a slightly different inside, which is what goes into existing, and maybe even going out in the goodie pack boxes where the guys have been talking to Arsenal, and then Harrison sends a box, and inside it is this with more detail about us and a little bit more behind the scenes.
They've already got a rough idea of what
they know. They see theirs would be the opposite. They wouldn't want all this shoved in their face because they're like, fuck me, we know. It's all we've heard about from Harrison.
That'd be good to go in orders.
That's kind of. I just think it's just seeing
to the top.
a slightly different fit.
So we are now flying up to Norwich. I've been invited along to an event all centred around business challenges, and we've certainly been through our fair share of challenges recently, so excited to go along with that. It's an event that Howes Percival are putting on, so looking forward to going along to that and seeing what we make of that. And I've just realised I haven't brought any business cards with me, which was quite silly, so I'm going to go back in, get some business cards in case I meet anyone really interesting, and then I'm going to get to Norwich and be 20 minutes late.
Morning, Katie.
Morning, Sam.
How's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad. Currently working on this massive international job that is 140 hoodies. So it's going to take majority of the day, but they're coming out all right. I think this is the design. Hopefully Nathan will sort it all out and get them sent out properly.
Morning, Nathan. How's your day going?
Not too bad, yeah. Booking out DHL for this big split delivery order today. You seen our new area? Give you a tour. Now right here there should be enough space for racking to hold 15 pallets.
Hello. We are just reminiscing, I don't know if that's the right word, on yesterday evening at the Howes Percival event in Norwich that I was invited along to, all around business challenges. And it was actually a really, really good evening, and got a chance to share some of our challenges that we've been through, and also heard about some other challenges, and very much from a legal standpoint as well, which is obviously what those guys are all about. It was really interesting to understand some of the things that can trip you up, and some of the sort of mental battles that people shouldn't have to go through. But unfortunately it's human nature, and it's the way of the world, and they will come. And I did a post, which actually I was a bit blown away by the response, and I'm sure Sam will overlay it on the screen. But I did a LinkedIn post when I was away in Dubai recently, just sort of talking about some of my recent challenges and my experience in overcoming what I would call a business crisis. And I think we've been through quite a few now. Of these business crises where we've been hacked, had cybersecurity issues, we've had major cash flow issues, loads of things like that, and where I would this is rocky, this could send us, be gone tomorrow, and navigating a crisis like that with your team. And that's what this event was very centered around, and I was it was really, really good actually. I'm glad I went, glad I was a part of it, and met some great people. So that was that. And now I'm just re-looking over our WBR decks just to refresh myself. So it's basically something that we swiped and deployed into our business from Amazon. So it's called a weekly business review, WBR for short. We do it every Monday, all being well. Sometimes it is on a Tuesday if something goes wrong. And that is the senior team on heads of each department. So sort of ops, production, sales, marketing, finance, managing director, that sort of thing, and we all come together with all the different heads, and prior to that each department prepares its data deck of input metrics and output metrics, and we'll overlay how it sort of works up on the screen. But effectively what it is your input metrics, which you would define, will ultimately impact your output metrics. Now, just to give you a really simple one that pretty much every business, whether you're a sole trader as a carpenter, or whether you are a large business selling products or services, everybody should be measuring their quote or lead to sale conversion rate, in my opinion. And so what you find though is that's an output metric, in my opinion. So the how many quotes do you need to do against how many orders do you win, and what percentage do you convert into a sale? Because otherwise you could be very much a busy fool. Now, we used to only really measure output metrics, and then I read this book, I started to learn more on the depths of Google and YouTube about Amazon's philosophy of input and output, and we really deployed that into our business. And now what we do is we have these decks, we make them in Excel, and they track a 6-week trailing of all of our input metrics for every department. And then on the right hand side, they track our monthly performance for the last 13 months. And they have 2 graphs on each side. And then every week we bring those and we look at week on week performance, year on year, month on month. And then we analyze all of the inputs from every department to all of the outputs. And there's more focus on the inputs, which is the real detail stuff. Now, we're just getting better at it. So one of the things that's in the works at the moment that a lot of softwares allow you to do now is measure speed of response. So to give us, going back to my example of conversion rate, the conversion rate of how many sales you're actually going to win out of all the leads you're delivered is all going to, that's an output, and it's going to all be impacted by lots of things you do. So it's going to be impacted by your price points. It's going to be impacted by how quickly you get back to people. It's going to be how quick, what your sort of lead time is on actually delivering the work when you quote it. It's going to be, your sort of, your approach, how professional you are. Do you send it in a proper quote? All those, there's lots and lots of different things. But in our business specifically, we know that a lot of our inputs are impacted by our speed of reply, how many times we have to do a revision in terms of a visual mock-up on a promotional product. We know that it's the margin that we're going in at. We know that it is how quickly we answer our incoming calls. It's all these different sorts of things that we're now measuring in graph form. So we've got a benchmark goal of where we want it to be, where we think that will be, and then we're measuring all these different inputs on the graphs and going, oh look, the correlation as that graph goes up, so as our speed of response improves, oh look, so does a number of people that say, yes, I'd like to give you my business. And then what you very commonly see, oh look, as we have a spike in sickness in production, for example, oh, the number of orders that are not shipped on time in full go up. And there's a direct correlation to people being off and the sickness to how much our customers are affected and our on time in full metric gets damaged. So what's really interesting, very simple to set up, a lot of work by department heads, but it creates such a good culture of we're data led and we're measuring all the little controllable things, because we used to go, oh, the conversion rate, oh, the on time full, how are we supposed to impact that? But when you actually are measuring the tiny details, like how quickly or how long does it take us on average from the minute somebody submits an inquiry on our website for a web form to the time we actually send them the price they are wanting, not, oh, thanks for your inquiry, we'll get back to you, not that sort of response, how quickly we give them what they've asked for. You will see that when you start measuring that, that's on you. You can control that, and you'll start to see improvement. So I'm spending some time on our WBR deck looking through, for example, last week in production as an output, our waste was up. So the prior week we were at 1.46% of waste. So it's products that had to go in the bin because the machine spat ink on it or something like that. And last week it went up to 2.78%, which is like on the cusp of being unacceptable to us. So I'm looking at that, and then I'm going to look further into the deck, further pages in, to understand, okay, what inputs have maybe caused that? Did we have to call an engineer out? Was there a machine down? What's the reason for it? Did we have temporary labour in? Did we have somebody off and covering a machine? That there'd be a reason for it, and we're starting to look into all those different metrics. So yeah, little tip I thought I'd share. It's worked very well for us. I strongly recommend you try it out. It's Wednesday and we are on site at Chroma. Just popped down early doors this morning to check in on how things are going, take a look at the progress, take a few snaps of some areas of concern, and document the progress, and just move a few things forward, liaise a few things on some stills that we need to get down here, and just ensure everything's aligned and running on track with the project plan, to help with the progress, really. So that's what we're up to. It is miserable this morning in Chroma, and I'm quite glad I'm not working outside, but I'm most certainly not dressed for it. But yeah, busy day, up early, and we'll see what the day entails.
But obviously, yeah, I hadn't heard back from you, and then I saw you post on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I've just had a lot going on, so yeah, apologies. Yeah, basically it was just bonkers. Like,
Yeah.
we launched a new e-com website. Yeah. So it was like a year or so in the making. You know, it's a 6-figure investment, and obviously that was supposed to be boom, explode, and really go for it. And that was going to give us all of the foundations to be able to really scale. And then turned it on, and it was like turning our work off, like a tap just went off. And for about 6 months, we were like, it was quite a scary time. We genuinely thought, there were days when I thought we weren't going to get through it, in terms of it, because you have all that fixed overhead.
Yes.
And then just suddenly turned off the tap, just everything just drained. The inquiries just weren't coming through, and we were just needing to spend so much on PPC and that kind of thing, just to keep the lights going, to keep cash. But obviously, bottom line, you weren't making margin. So you were running at a major loss month on month. Anyway, long story short, got a second opinion on some stuff, and after 7 months, found out that basically 2 days before we actually pressed go on launch, somebody had knocked off some other website, and basically, I don't really understand it all, but 1.2 million dodgy backlinks have basically been spammed against that site. And basically our trust flow had just gone to the floor. But what we thought was that it was all because we launched this new site. Now that didn't help, But actually, it all happened in the space of a few days. We had this big, you know, dirty campaign or whatever had happened to us, where somebody had just ripped off the whole site and put spam against all those links. Plus, we completely pulled the site apart and relaunched a new one. Yeah, lots of redirects hadn't been done correct, and it was just a complete mess. And long story short, it just meant that the consequence was our work just completely, you know, dried up. Because if we're not ranking for branded mugs or printed pens with logos on the top, the phones ain't ringing. There's 20 people sitting there waiting for calls and they're not coming in. There's not a lot, there's not a lot of those people to do. So it was a really scary time where never experienced so much. I could, highs, lows, just never really had that cash flow issues or anything like that before. Cause I've always been. And it's equally as close, like the fear spreads through the team, and it is a crisis. And it is just like, how many more times are we going to let that go on before we sort of take things a bit more seriously? So there is that. We do need to take it more seriously and work out where we go with it a little bit more.
But we've now employed another 2 engineers in King's Lynn.
Oh, blimey, that's good.
Plus, obviously, acquiring 2 more out that way.
Yeah, so that's really going to ramp up the capabilities.
Yes,
definitely.
So we are, we're pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, nice. I think it's just strengthened us. I think the whole thing. I think ultimately it's made us a stronger business. It's made us a lot more efficient. It's made us get more out of the resources that we've got because we've had to for a few months. And all in all, I think we've come out stronger for it. So I don't regret. I don't regret going through it because I'd rather do it whilst I'm a bit younger. Stuff and come out with a stronger muscle as a team for it. But it wasn't nice, and it does make you realise the incredible levels of emotion you can go through from being like 1 minute you are on top of the world and like an hour later reality smacks you in the face and you're basically in tears in your office. It's like, what? It's like, it is so like that. I felt like, there were days I actually felt like I was on drugs. I was just like, I was high and I was low, and the tiniest little thing would trigger me and I'd be like, really emotional. It's so weird. It was so strange. Even that has taught us that, we can't just have all our eggs in one basket with one medium. We need to do this, we need to do that.
I am just getting up to speed on a few things. And I'm just emailing Phil with regards to a few ideas that came to me throughout the middle of the night regarding some of our landing pages, some edits that I think would help customers get some information quicker and answer some of their concerns about ordering and parting with their money on our website when they're buying the branded goods. I have got to get over to production and checking on the gang today. I'll see how Dale's getting on, our new production supervisor. I haven't seen him for a while because I've been in and out, but I hear from Cody that he is flying over there and making a huge difference to the team already, which is good. I've got some work to do in signing off a freelancer that we want to work with regards to our email marketing strategy. So we've just reviewed that, a few people that have kind of come forward that would be interested in and got experience that would be able to help us with that. I'm having a little look, whittling that down so we can get somebody on board to start supporting us who can have a little look at our current setup and start looking at assisting us with segmenting and that sort of automated workflow for email marketing. And then, we've got a few bits going on this afternoon, and that's what we're up to. Just got back to the car from 24 hours in London. Went to a great event, met some of our clients, some of our partners. Went on a lovely boat trip along the Thames. It was really great to meet some clients, some new potential partners, bit of networking, so really enjoyed that. Stayed in London last night, just got back. Wonderful train lines that we have in the UK, delayed, so we're a couple of hours behind now, which has put me back today, which is a bit frustrating. And then I've come back to this bad boy. So, yeah, not the best start to the day, but yes, parking ticket, try and think of the positives. The positives are I'm going to have £70 less to spend on something that would have probably wasted my money anyway, so look for the positives. So that's what we're doing. Now we're going to be heading back to the office and get stuck into some meetings. It's a special day today. I've got an exciting new delivery of this bad boy that's just arrived, and it's a little bit of a new project that we're just about to get off the ground. Can't tell you too much about it yet because it's in its infancy, but it's exciting, and I've just taken delivery of it. Brand new tipper truck. Very excited to get this new project off the ground and you guys be along for the journey. And it's a moment in history that we can look back on today when the first tipper arrives. So watch this space, gang. It's going to be exciting.